session for a client. So I'm going to be sharing psychic wisdom and energy healing. If any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, please come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. All right, so there aren't any defined goals. The client had requested I just go as guided by spirit. So I'm going to go ahead and relax and get tuned in. And I want to simply thank you so much for the opportunity to connect with you today. And thank you so much for your open-mindedness to share with others. Okay, here we go. We're going to leave it open and see what comes up. There's a lot of stress here on my chest, and I feel like there's rippling muscles that are kind of feel tight and even a bit ripped in a way. So if you could have a headache in your muscles in your chest, it would probably feel like this, okay? It just feels like tight, stretched muscles that are slightly ripped, okay? Still relaxing this down. Still relaxing this down. This actually feels more like a physical body thing. I'm going to just place my hand right here on your chest. It's not right at the heart level. It's just slightly above it. So I'm just going to place my hand here. And I'm going to place my hand inside your mind, okay? I feel like there's a lot of inner communication and I don't know what it's saying just yet. So we'll just slow down time here as well. There's a lot more going on. I just have no idea how to articulate it. So we'll slow things down. Start to make sense of something more, okay? You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to start putting ideas out there and see what the response is that I get back. Okay, what would be the first idea that comes to me? Avoidance. It doesn't necessarily say it's avoidance. Now, I do see a little bit of change in the image where your head is kind of turned, literally, it's a little creepy, but it's kind of turned around and then it's looking off behind you, not completely behind you. Kind of like an owl, you know? And so you turned your head and then you're looking back into it diagonally. And you say it's not avoidance. I say, okay. Even though it looks like there could be something of avoidance here, I'm just going to take it at face value, okay? Face value. It's not avoidance. I get your head to move, and now I'm going to look into your eyes, okay? You say, and I'm too close, I'm too close. You say something like your breath stings. You say that to me. Like, it stings? What? Okay, we'll work with this. I don't know if I want to, like, just go all over your face now, or just go with that too. Okay, my breath stinks. Okay, cool. Never heard that one before. At least not in the energy world. Hopefully I never hear that in the human world. Yeah, you're wanting me to back off. Back off. That's why you're saying that. You're trying to get me to be uncomfortable and to back off. And so I do. I do. I literally do step back. I'm starting to pinpoint what's going on here. What this energy is here too. Who's actually talking to me right now. The thing that keeps I'm inspired to do is to constantly, continually be 110% respectful of whatever it is that you state. If you state, no, I'm not avoiding, okay, then you're not avoiding. If you state, your breath stinks, then okay, then my breath stinks, okay. If you state, back off, okay, I'm going to back off. So let's see what else you state. We are slowly unraveling this mystery, okay? All right, here's some more sensory things that are going on. I see you and you become a very weird looking white maggot. And then I see the scene as kind of, you're like a pill in a box, okay? And you're alone. You're the lone pill in a box. But you're upright and you literally look more like a maggot than a pill. And there's this circulating around you, but it is also contained. And it's more contained than it is circulating. Again, I create echoes like just to see what happens. Echoes that would be disturbing ideas like I'm going to cut you open and we're going to look at your insides, just to see how you react, okay? Because I'm trying to learn why is the behavior like this, and I need to poke the bear some more in order to get it to scream at me. So then we can really figure this out some more. What's interesting is I have to constantly be respectful, which is why I'm hesitant to to send this to poke the bear in order to make sense of. If I am respectful, then there's nothing to make sense of other than I need to just be respectful. So what am I making sense of? I'm going to choose to use manners and know nothing about you, but I will know that I have respected you. That means I have respected who? This thing that is vulnerable around me? I'm respecting the problem so that I'm not poking the problem, so then the problem can remain the problem. The problem is like an eyesore that nobody is pointing out. Like a booger on someone's face that nobody tells that person kindly that they have a booger in their nose so that they can go feel better about themselves later, okay? Instead of like, how come nobody told me and I've been going all day? It's a kindness. It's a kindness to point those things out, even if it's a shame, you know? But if we have manners, then we don't want to shame anybody, so we won't ever point out the booger, even though that sometimes make things worse. And so that is why I'm having to analyze the need to be respectful and polite towards the problem. The problem then remains the problem. Therefore, I have to break the mold of my own manners in order to face the problem and poke the problem until it can't stand it, until the problem is completely and utterly exposed, and then it is weakest, it is most vulnerable, and now it's not a problem anymore. Zero problems. Problems often feel really gross. They often feel like something we want to avoid. We even want to avoid them with other people. Even if the problem is obvious, we just don't want to point it out because we are all polite, right? We don't want to make anybody feel embarrassed or ashamed. So here in the energy world, as I'm exploring what I'm being presented with, there, as you can see, there's some complex sides of the story that we really have to really uncover and unwind and make sense of all this stuff. So is there a problem inside yourself that you're being too polite to really face it? Or is there a problem in somebody else that you then are just being polite and respectful and you will not poke that bear? Is it both? Let's keep learning, shall we? Wow. Oh boy. This is marvelously complicated. So you're the maggot suspended in a box, and I can see through it, and it's a cube. It's a perfect cube shape. And another conflict because the energy says, do not touch this box. Do not help that maggot. Do not do anything. Just turn around and walk away like you saw nothing. So you see a kid screaming help in the street, just walk away like we didn't see that. This is more like somebody, comes and puts their hand over your mouth. You see this happening to somebody else and they can't make a sound and you just walk away and pretend you didn't see anything. So there's a serious problem right in front of me, and something now is telling me, don't interact with the problem. Don't interact with the problem. Just walk away, and it's not your problem. Just walk away. But the thing is I'm constantly presented in the forefront of my face. I see the problem, and I'm not allowed to interact with it. I'm not allowed to try to help the problem feel better. I'm not allowed to do anything. I have to just stand here as though I have no arms or legs and just I can't do anything. What if I don't want to do that? What if I want to interact with the problem? What if I want to help the situation because I can? They tell me again, no, you cannot. This is the guides and the energies and all that. And it's not as if I can't cross that line here. There are times where when they say no, I literally can't cross that line. No matter what I do, I cannot cross that line. Here, I could pester the line. I might be able to get my way. If I keep pushing, I could get my way. But I am going to honor it, and I'm going to step back and say, okay, I'm just going to walk away then. Just going to walk away and act like I never saw that. And then I am. I don't know nothing about no maggot in some cube. And I'm going to send everything I've seen, I'm going to send it away. It's done. Done with it. Okay, what's the next thing? You're in the shape of a crescent moon and you are slouching. You are avoiding. You're sitting on your bed and you won't turn your head to look at me at the door. And there seems to be some kind of internal anger in this room, which represents a bedroom. And you don't want me to come into your room. And I show you everything And I said, I sent it away. I'm not to poke the bear. I'm not to really investigate the problem. Why am I in this room and you are noticeably avoiding and upset? Why am I in this room in order to approach you? Because obviously I'm faced with yet a problem that I'm supposed to do nothing about. Boy, this is one part of yourself that is very stubborn, and it is making it noticeable. Like, see that I have a problem, but I'm gonna keep saying, asking you to stop helping me with my problems. Like, see my problem. No, I don't want your help. This tells me you do want my help. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in this room looking at you, seeing this stuff. I just sit on the bed and I'm not going to help you with your problems, I say. Is there anything else you would like me to look at? Something that has nothing to do with problems, maybe something that has everything to do with something that feels good, okay? And we don't have to look at problems. We could look at blissful things instead. You're thinking about it. You ask me, how did I just send the problem away without feeling attached to it? Like, if somebody were to, do you guys ever have a moment where somebody, okay, here's a perfect example. You're on the phone with someone and you're saying, okay, I gotta go. And they're like trying to keep you on the phone to talk and talk and talk, and you're super polite, and so you stay on the phone. But you have to go, and you need them to respect the fact that you actually do have to go. But they aren't doing it. And then you're being polite and giving that extra time, but yet you still have to go, and yet they're still not respecting it. So that person then needs to learn how to hear you. You have to go and say, okay, see you later, and just let you go. Or you just have to let yourself go and feel like a jerk, as though you ended the conversation before it was really done. Why does this have to be so complicated? But you're asking me, how do you just let something go? And you're saying, because I noticed the problem here. And I'm told that I can't do anything about it. And I want to do something about it because I know I can help. But if I'm told that I can't and I have to honor that, how do I just let it go as though it never happened? How do you disconnect from something like that? In a way, you inside yourself have this problem that you are just wanting to disconnect from as though it never happened. Like, just send it away and move on. Is that why I can't do it for you? Because something of yourself knows that it is for you to do it for yourself. And you want to know how I'm doing it so that you can learn how you can do that for yourself. Okay. Wow. Okay. So we're going to learn, all of us, we're all, okay, going to learn how to be receptive to a problem or a situation that we know that we need to let that go. And then we need to just move on from it. Bam, done, over with. Not linger, not become mentally attached to the memory, emotionally attached, wondering why, still attached to it, still feeding it. It's still feeding yourself because you can't let go of this problem. How do you just, bam, done with it, moving on? Because the problem has kind of transformed you to be merged with the problem as a part of your identity. Because once you start connecting with the problem, you start to merge with it and live with it every single day. And it's your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's in your dreams, and it's in your conversations, and it's year after year after year. And now you've merged with the problem. And the problem is in you, it is around you, it has consumed you. Now, how do you just pretend like that never happened? How do you just stop and just let it go and move on? And problems aren't just a separate thing if we have developed a relationship with the problem, okay? So, I'm going to find out what is the advice I am to provide you in order for you to just let go. Let go. Because I'm kind of indicating that your problem is not my problem. And so in this situation, when I see the issue and I'm told to let it go, it's very easy for me to do that because I can listen, I can hear the request, I can understand it now. I just let it go as though nothing happened, and we'll just see what's after the problem. So when you let go of the problem, then you get introduced to what comes next. So if you're done with the problem, awesome. Because then you get to find out what comes next. If you aren't done with the problem, you get to live with it for as many years as you want. And you'll never know what comes after the problem until you choose to stop being attached to it. So how do you discover that it's time to stop being attached to the problem so that you can figure out then what is coming after the problem, you know? I don't know why, but what comes after your problem is fresh pineapple in chunks. It's almost like I opened a can and poured some pineapple out. Then it's got the juice and the chunks. And I don't know why, but it's like what comes after your problem is pineapple. Okay. So let's see. You kind of liked that for some reason. It kind of made you feel good and bright and sunny somehow. And citrusy, like vitamin C, like cleaning out your system or something. Because you in a way you see pineapple is not just symbolic of a fresh fruit. It's symbolic of vitamin C. It's symbolic of the sun. You know what's interesting about plants is they receive information from like oranges grow in hot and sunny climates, right? Pineapples, like there's a reason why fruits grow in certain types of climates, because they're using the energy of the sun to grow into their citrusy selves. But they can't grow in northerly climates because there's a different relationship with the sun and the earth and the temperature and all that stuff. And so you're receiving a certain type of information when you have a fruit over a nut, over a vegetable, over a salad or whatever. But you're receiving information when you eat fresh foods. And so you're kind of talking about information from the sun is sort of in the DNA of the pineapple itself. And so you're kind of turning what was just like a can of pineapple into something like really profound here. And it's actually really nice. So we're going into something a lot more bright and more blissful. Okay. Let me see here if I'm supposed to say anything else about letting go of problems. All right. Okay. This is what comes to me. Have you identified a problem that you could actually write it down and say, this is something I've been thinking about for a while, or this is something that I haven't liked about myself, or this is something I'm insecure about, or I can't stop thinking about this, and I just want to stop thinking about this. Okay, so if you could identify some real legit problems, okay? So I swear to God, when you take it from inside of yourself and you literally just put it on paper, and then you can read it, it creates a physical reality and it changes your life. I mean, I'm telling you, this stuff changes your life. I'm not just talking here. I'm giving you real tips to change your life, okay? And I recommend it. When you take the information from inside and you draw it through the letters and create the sentences and you see it visibly on the piece of paper that you put that there on the paper, it creates a powerful energy. It creates a choice, an acknowledgement, an identification. I acknowledge that, number one, this problem. Number two, this problem, right? So problems are bad things. We don't want problems in our life, right? Well, we learn from problems. And problems aren't actually problematic. The process of adapting and changing is the hard part. And we need the problem in order to grow. So problems are good things, okay? There's going to come points in our life where we acknowledge that, oh, wow, this is completely, I am completely done with my relationship with this feeling, with this memory, with this behavior. Write it down, right? Now, what do you do to start the transformation process so you can let it go? Give me a second here and I'll find the right words. You don't want this in your life anymore, number one, okay? Number one, whatever number one is. Let's just say it is, I can't stop thinking about this. It really hurt my feelings. It's in my memory and I can't let it go. See, this, it would be better to have actual examples because there's so many different variations of problems and some of them have way more complicated pathways. Some of them are a lot more simpler and some are way more complicated. And this is this is actually quite familiar to me because I've been going through a process kind of like this year. And if I don't know how, I ask my angels and I just say, okay, I'm ready for, I'm going to acknowledge number one. And I am ambitiously ready for this. I'm ready. I am ready to let go of number one. I'm ready to move on from number one. I am absolutely ready and I'm going to enjoy the pineapple on the other side of this. Okay, angels, show me something that I need to know, a statement of some kind, a sentence, an epiphany. Provide me with a something that I need in order to finalize this. One thing that my angels showed me was gratitude was step one. To be grateful for something that seems so basic. Anybody, for instance, who struggled with suicidal thoughts, you should be grateful to be alive. Now, how in the world is somebody with suicidal thoughts going to be grateful to be alive? Do you see why being grateful to be alive is so freaking important in order to move on from the problem of being attached to suicidal thoughts? And that could be years of your life to have this like ingrained into your being as though this is your life now. That's not true. Not your life. I don't know how to define your 1, 2, 3. I'm just trying to create examples to get your wheels turning on what a statement of gratitude might sound like for your situation, okay? I'm trying to think of another really just this horrible scenario that would be very hard to be grateful for, something that would be the opposing side of it. All right, let's say you have an abusive parent. I am so grateful that I had a father, I had a mother in my life. Why the hell would you be grateful for the parent that abused you? That just gave you all of these problems, right? It's their fault that you have all these problems because they couldn't work on them themselves. So then you adopted all of them and now you're the one that's having to figure this mess out. So screw them, right? No. We're going to be grateful. We're going to be grateful for the abuser. We're going to be grateful for the rapist. We're going to be grateful for my dog died. And then my dog was my best friend. And I don't know how to live without my dog now. And I need my dog back. No. You're going to be grateful for the time that you had. You don't get the right to say no to that. To be grateful for the abuser. To be grateful to have life. To be grateful for the time you had. Because if you're going to say, no, I'm not going to be grateful, how in the world are you going to resolve the problems that you're attached to? It's going to feel like hell to be grateful for something so simple, and it's going to feel wrong. But the angels are saying you have to create a statement of gratitude. That would be, in a way, the opposing side of what you would define as the problem. And then to be grateful for, you could just say grateful for that problem in your life. Or grateful for the opposing side. Not grateful that I think about suicide every day, but grateful to live would be quite the conflict for the suicidal side, right? So you have to create a gratitude statement that in a way will piss off the problem. We're going to poke the bear, all right? We're going to open up that maggot. And it's not going to like it. But that gratitude is going to get in there, and it's going to shine light in that painful place that exposed the problem in the first place. And it's going to just make you feel like you're falling apart in a way. And to be grateful, you got to be grateful for starters, okay? Man, even talking about this is so hard. This will change your life. This will change your life. Okay, start there. Because what's interesting is we're learning that it's not letting go. It's in a way digesting the problem. So it could be completely and utterly digested. And now you have an identity upgrade. An identity upgrade. And they show me that some problems you can just let it go. Oh, you have to go. Okay, I understand. I'll just talk later. Bye. You know, the lingering person. Oh, but this. Oh, but that. Oh, no, don't leave yet. It has to learn how to let that conversation go. So they need to find out what's beneath the surface. Maybe it's loneliness. So they have to be grateful for themselves and the time that they have just with themselves. Be grateful for the time they do have on the phone. You know, so you got to find a weird little gratitude sentence. Oh yeah, this is majorly helping you. Majorly because I feel so much shifting in the third eye, the back of the head, and the crown chakra. Oh my God. And I feel the digestion, okay? Is this energy here because it's like a digestive process, you know? Like there is a process of swallowing things down and moving them through the heart, moving them through the emotional gut, moving them down the tubes, right? There's a reason why our chakras are located in these places. There's a reason why we have a physical, like a vocal cords here where the throat chakra is. Like it's not just, it's about communication, but it's also about digesting communication, you know, the communication of being grateful for something that could get lodged in the throat because we don't know how to be grateful. I swear to God, gratitude is incredibly powerful. Okay. I'm going back to you. And we bring the cube with the maggot back in, okay? And I see you crying. And in a way, you say, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I say, I'm sharing with you a perspective. But I'm asking you to feel it as well. That sometimes we use language to define an emotion we don't really know how to relate to. We can go into points in life where we just say things like this, like, what's wrong with me? But really, there's just an energy vibration going on here that makes us feel this way as we're going through a process, and there's literally nothing wrong with you. But for whatever reason, you need to just feel this way because that's the digestion process. And when you can realize that you feel like something's wrong with you because you are digesting something down, and to just know that this is fine to feel this way right now. It is okay to feel this way right now. And as you embrace feeling this way, embrace it. Not like, what is wrong with me, as an open-ended question. It's an activity. It doesn't have an answer, really. Embrace the feeling of that inspires or sparks the desire to say what is wrong with me, wholeheartedly to say it, okay? And I show you to embrace it. You say, that is ugly, and it's the worm in the box. And I say, is this what's creating you to say what is wrong with me? And you just cry. You say, I've made some bad decisions. Like, I've been mean. You say, you've given me the opportunity to help you, to learn about letting go myself, to learn that it's okay to know that other people need to help themselves, to give you the opportunity to share some wisdom that's going to help many other people, not just us, right? It's good to reflect on these things. So when maybe our behaviors are the problem, we're giving other souls the opportunity to learn and grow too. So there aren't any real problems here, you know? That's why forgiveness, you can forgive yourself anytime you want. And maybe forgiving yourself is the next step, right? So maybe step 1 is a gratitude, and step 2 is like a forgiveness of self. And another thing that comes to me is a step 3. So let's say there's a complex problem you'd been working through for a section of years, because that is the human life. Will have complex problems that will happen for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Might be a whole life scenario that is constantly transforming you at every turn, and it's just like a gross thorn in your side for the whole lifetime. How do we let go of that problem? You know, we work through the digestion of it. All right, we find gratitude for that thorn, okay? We forgive ourselves for all the ways that we've hated the process, and that we've reacted, or we've become maybe what we don't want to be, only to find who we truly are. Now we are grateful again for the thorn. And then this third step, it's like to be able to say, you know what? I didn't enjoy it, but I do know what it's like. I literally do know what it's like to be degraded like this, to lose everything. I do know what it's like to be in a serious car accident and lose my family. I do know what it's like to be suicidal for 20 years, you know. I do know it's like, so we don't enjoy these experiences, right? Because they're freaking hard. They're so ridiculously hard. But there's something of an accomplishment or achievement, and to have some dignity here in that you can relate to a really powerful experience that not everybody is going to experience, but you will know what it's like, and you will learn ways to work through it in order to help other people that go through those similar experiences. So anything that you've been through in your life that you could say is the problem is now the opportunity for you to put yourself out there as an advocate, as, you know what, I learned how to do this. I can help other people learn how. I learned how to forgive abusive parent. I learned how to overcome suicidal depression. I learned how to live again. I learned how to move on from the loss of a best friend, whether it's an animal or a person, you know, a family member. I've learned how. So I can now help other people. So you see how then the problem is not really that gross and ugly. It's actually beautiful. So is it really a maggot, or is it an angel? And maybe we need to let the problem out of the box and let's see its radiance, right? Let's see its angelic self, right? And let's let it touch your heart. Let's let that problem, the angelic self of that problem, touch your heart, right? Yeah. Let that problem in there touch your heart. We can move this energy down into the heart, right? So that you can feel that. Oh my God, you feel like instantaneously better. Like you can breathe. Like you get it. The angels and their gift of epiphanies. whenever you need one, whenever you know you're on that level, ask for an epiphany, ask for a viewpoint, ask for a statement, ask for something to happen to help you figure out this. I swear to God, it will come for you. It will come for you. I've asked for answers to questions that it took like 7 years, and then it just hit me and it was like so obvious and easy. This was like, I remember in college asking a question. So many years have passed now, I don't even remember what it was. But I remember when it hit me like 5, 6 years later, something like this. And it was so obvious that it was confusing me. We'll ask a question and then it will hit us, and it will be like, why weren't we able to see what was right in front of our face all along? You just weren't ready to see it yet. This stuff takes time, but be open, because I tell you, often it will come within a few weeks, okay? Or even the very next day. And usually when I ask for stuff like this, I feel a revving up, and I feel almost like I don't know what else to do, and I don't have any more control I am at the end of the road. Why is it at the end of the road that I ask for the angelic answer? Why is it? I think because I'm trying to figure it out for myself, and then I forget that I can just ask the question. Anyway, that's what I'm called to share. Thank you so very much. So very much. You do feel a lot brighter in your heart. You feel way better balanced. You feel way more like wise, expanded, like you've grown, and you get it now. You feel a kindness. You feel warmth inside of you. You feel like gratitude, forgiveness of self, and being able to acknowledge and be proud of who you are and everything that you've ever been or done or experienced, and how it's molded and shaped you over time, you know? Thank you. Thank you so very much. And thank you everybody for watching. Thank you all of you from watching from beginning to end, and for all your kind comments and thumbs up, and really means a lot. I hope you all have a very beautiful rest of your day.